Hi everyone, this is Devin. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about my big chop journey. Hey. So if you have been watching one of my more recent videos, I did a vlog where I showed me going to the shop and getting a trim and a treatment at a curly hair salon. And so prior to that, I think that was like my 8th month of being on my big chop journey, and now it's been a total of 15 months, and this is the growth that I have. And just to give you guys a little context, I had been wanting to cut my hair since 2020. I remember during the pandemic, I was just so over my hair. I didn't like that it wasn't able to curl. It didn't look right when I used to wear natural styles, and I was just over it. And so I didn't get up the courage to cut my hair until 2024. So if you're out there and maybe you have some heat damage, and like me, you might be prioritizing the length over the health of your hair, I just want to say it was one of the best decisions of my life to cut my hair. And the reason why I say that is not just because I see health in my hair that has come back, but I also feel like it was a journey of discovery of myself, and also me learning that letting go of old things, letting go of dead things can actually take you on a journey of trusting God and trusting that things do grow. Once you cut it off, you'll see the growth. And so I just say all that to say, like, if you were had heat trained hair, I have been getting my hair pressed since I was like 10 years old, and like I had long hair. I had hair down to here, like shoulder, and I just love my hair. I think I would have been okay if I didn't cut it, but it was just like this curiosity, like what would it be like if I cut my hair? And shout out to my sister, she actually made the decision to cut her hair first, and she didn't get all of it chopped off. It was still some heat damage, and then the next day, I think 2 days later, like I was like, I'm gonna cut it off. I don't want this anymore. And so I had a friend to like help me to cut it off and everything, and it was one of the best decisions that I made. Your big chop journey, your hair journey really does reflect like where you're at personally in your journey. For me, I know that I had just come to a point where I knew I wanted to change. For me, I could have cut it in 2020, but I just wasn't ready. And so cutting it, in 2024, I just feel like I was at a point where I was ready to take a risk and embrace change and embrace a journey that maybe I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I was open to. So let's go ahead and let's look at these pictures, okay? So the first picture I have is when I first cut it. It was July 30th, 2024. As you can see, the curls are very much in shock. They was, a little frizzy. I didn't know I was gonna go that short, but I did. I probably didn't need to go that short, but we just took a risk. Yeah. This is August. You can see that it has some growth. This is just like 23 days, like 3 weeks into me having my hair cut. It was very hard to curl my hair at this time. I was trying to use a sponge. I was using a lot of mousse at the time to just get the curls to activate. I feel like my curls were still very much in shock, and that's something that you'll experience when you first cut your hair, especially that short. This is October. This is me in the street, but you see like the curls are beginning to grow. It's beginning to have a little bit more definition, and I remember during this time I couldn't really like define my hair with just like raking the product through my hair. I had to basically do finger coils, and that was the only thing that worked with defining my hair. So yeah, and then October, I was at work taking this picture, but I was able to do some little ponytails at the front. I was able to do little ponytails, okay? That was exciting, you know. They were baby ponytails, but they were cute. And then also in October, at the end of October, I actually did some jumbo knotless on myself. And I was very surprised because I was able to grip that hair pretty good. I was able to grip it, and that was my first time ever doing knotless on myself, and I kept them in for like a solid month and a half maybe. And then we come to the month of November 18th. I was looking cute here. I had just taken my hair out of the braids actually, and I had saw, you know, a little bit of growth. I was really liking it. It was to a point of where I was like, wow, I can rock with this, you know. November was a good month. Curls had definitely came a long way, and this was only like 4 months in. Yeah, 4 months in. And I just stuck with the same style, and pretty much didn't do anything else. Was still doing finger coiling at the time. This was the month of December, so this was my 5-month mark. I went to Disneyland. You guys can see the curls. One thing that I see with my hair here is that I was dealing with like a lot of frizz a little bit. Probably definitely needed a trim. And then December 30th, my hair was starting to grow a little bit more, like a mini afro. That was a video. It wasn't quite long enough to kind of hang, but I could tell that it was getting to that point. Month of January, which was my birthday, I don't necessarily see any growth in this picture. Not any like substantial growth. But I was just staying faithful to what I was doing, just washing my hair, deep conditioning, and finger coiling and doing that, you know. This is the month of February. This is when I started to experiment and start to wear head wraps, and I felt like I've always liked head wraps, but especially when you have shorter hair, sometimes you might not really want to always style your hair, and sometimes putting it away in a scarf can really work for you, and it's also just really cute, you know. So I started in February experimenting with head wraps. The month of February, you can see some more growth there. Doing the ponytails, they're significantly longer than they were the October before. And then we come to the month of March, when I was able to get my first trim and appointment at a curly hair salon. Had a great experience, and yeah, this was my hair. It was very defined. Definitely could see some more growth here as opposed to January. So I believe this was my eighth month of my big chop journey. Month of April, I had for my mom to do like some braided plaits in my hair, and I literally wore a head wrap for like the whole month of April for the most part. So that's why I say, you know, them head wraps, they be working. You put little baby hairs out, it worked for you. And I loved it, honestly. I loved wearing a head wrap that whole month, honestly. Towards the end of April, this is when I had washed my hair and I was starting to see some more growth. Then we come to the month of May, and I had decided to experiment with some passion twists. Now, I didn't know that I was going to do this. I was about to crash out because I was on my second one in the back, and it had already been like 2 hours, maybe almost 2 hours, and I still wasn't gripping it. I was about to crash out, but the results were there, and I did it, and I wore that style and I was looking cute. I got a lot of compliments on that style. And so one thing that I saw for myself is that during this big chop journey, it's like, you know, if you've already taken a risk before, like, you can take another risk. And doing my own hair was definitely very empowering for me, similar to how it was very empowering for me to cut my hair, because a lot of the times length is very much associated with beauty, it's associated with femininity and different things. And I just, for so long wanted to do it, but felt like I didn't want to hear the opinions of people. But me being able to do my own passion twist and not pay somebody $300-$400 to do it was really like a moment of wow, like I can do my own hair and I can do a good job. So that's one of the things that I also learned on my big chop journey is you can experiment with your hair, you can embrace your hair's texture, and enjoy the journey. This is when I did a little ponytail with the passion twist. I was eating this style up. I was eating it up, okay? So yeah, definitely a lot of experimentation and creativity. This was the month of June. I kind of had a little puff going on. Still wearing the head wrap. This after I had washed it actually, from the passion twist. Has a little growth hanging a little bit. And then right after that, I put my hair in some stitch braids because I was wanting some stitch braids. I hadn't had them in so long. And the person that did a very good job. It was very cute. Of July, had a little side part going on. Very, very cute. Now the month of July, for me, felt like one of the best months for my hair for some reason. It just was like very moisturized. I didn't deal with a lot of dryness. Yeah, it seemed like July and then this month is like the best month for my hair just because of the growth. But here for July, I just felt like this was like one of the best months for me this year. Then my sister did some little braids for me in the front, and I wore this for a while, don't know how long. Then the month of August, I switched it up and I put some Bantu knots in my head. So a lot of protective styles going on, which really does help for your hair to grow. Month of September, I was able to do a ponytail. A little ponytail. I did like a mohawk kind of, like I did one here, one in the middle, and then one in the back. Wasn't very satisfied with my shape. I was like, man, like I need to go to the shop and get some shape, because when I went the first time to the shop, I told her I didn't want any shape yet. I just wanted it to grow out. But I kind of wish that maybe I did get like some shape so that it could look right. But then we come to the month of October, and just within a month, my hair has grown tremendously. This is when I first washed it on Saturday night. It's a little bit of frizz, which might mean that I need to trim, that's okay. It has shape, it's voluminous, it's everything that I would ever want it to be. And this was a wash and go. This was just literally me washing my hair, deep conditioning my hair, and then letting it air dry and like putting some oil on my hair. That's all I did, and I kind of have been trying to embrace like the less defined look, because that's pretty much been all that I've been doing is like, oh no, I gotta define it and stuff. But that's a part of the big chop journey. Embrace your natural hair, how it looks in its natural state. It doesn't have to be perfect. The journey is not perfect, and anyone that is trying to do the big chop journey, I just tell you, it's not a perfect journey. This is an opportunity for you to get creative, to explore, and just overall enjoy the journey, and know that you don't have to succumb to the beauty standards of the world where long hair is the standard, whatever it is. And I get so many compliments on my hair, not to say it's for man or anything. I did this for myself. It feels good to get compliments from other people and people affirm you along the journey. A black woman's journey with their hair has a lot of diverse experiences. I just look back and say, wow, I'm so happy that I've come to this place and I've been able to embrace who I am. And so what my hair looks like, and so it's been a beautiful journey overall. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.